Kevin Holbrook says he's seen it time and time again, whether locally or nationally. Children and pets getting left in cars. That the water levels west of Interstate 95 are just so high that water's moving south of that levee. Now, if you live around this area or you need to get through Lumberton, just know that Interstate 95 is still closed for much of the area, but that number drops to 21%. And it's not as simple as cutting through a little bit of red tape. But now we are moving even further offshore, all in hopes of finding a great white shark. Coastal Carolina baseball team's national championship win hit the school's social media accounts out of the park. Progress that she's made in this 9/11 silent walk is much like the progress that she's made in her own recovery. A mistrial has been declared in this case. Some Chanticleer fans are already here in their seats, posted up and ready for the first pitch. This is Brian Quigley. He's going to answer a few questions here for me. Hop on the bus and give you a look at what we're seeing. Everyone packed in. We got AC on, so they have a nice cool ride down to the venue.
Our justice system is lacking a law that would hold drug dealers responsible for these deaths and keep them behind bars longer. WMBF News anchor Kaitlin Stansell took a closer look at a proposed bill to change this in a WMBF News investigation.
We were coming up the driveway and it was raining and we spotted him. It was bad.
For Wendy Dorman, not a day goes by she isn't reminded of the night she found her son dead in her front yard.
It's been awful. Every time you look in out your door, come in the driveway, all I see is him.
Heath Watson was just 26 years old, in the prime of his life. But an addiction to heroin and one last potent hit would end it all on a rainy night in June of last year.
You know, he thought he was getting heroin, but it was something else.
They found the syringe in Heath's pocket, and tests later showed it was fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid, 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. Who do you want to see held responsible for this?
Drug dealers. I mean, they might not have pushed a needle in him, but they gave him something to kill him.
Right now in South Carolina, no law exists that holds drug dealers accountable for the deaths that their drugs cause. But a bill pre-filed in the state Senate would have them charged with involuntary manslaughter and spending serious time behind bars.
We are seeing this fentanyl-laced heroin and very hot loads of heroin hitting the streets and resulting in overdoses in a way that we have never seen in South Carolina. So, and this is not unique to our state, actually. It's a national epidemic. But that has, I guess, uncovered the need for a charge that will fit that type of conduct.
Conduct that resulted in more than 100 deaths in Horry County alone this past year. And the Horry County coroner says opioid abuse has grown so much that overdose deaths have far exceeded the number of homicides involving guns in 2016.
When you do these things, sometimes it's a one-way ticket and there's not a second chance on it.
Horry County Coroner Robert Edge has seen the effects of the heroin epidemic over and over again. And he finds himself having to explain to loved ones that there's little that can be done right now to hold anyone accountable.
We go to a lot of families and we tell them, this is what the situation is. And their question to police are, and to myself, well, can you charge the person that gave it to them? And right now, there's nothing in the law books that you can charge them with.
Senator Greg Hembry hopes his bill, if it becomes law, will change that, though.
I mean, if you can get to the person who's cutting the drugs and mixing the drugs, that would be a great success. You can attack that source. You can prevent more people potentially being killed.
But that's not where this fight stops.
It's not the silver bullet that's going to change everything. It's one step in the right direction in the criminal justice system to try to hold those that sell this exceedingly dangerous drug to a consequence that matches the conduct.
We was just so happy listening to the music.
As she looks at one of the final photos she took with her son before he died.
I wouldn't take nothing for it.
Heath's mother hopes Hembry's proposed bill will one day give officers a way to get justice for her son. Would that bring you closure?
Yeah, it would. It's not going to bring him back, but it'll help my heart to know that they can't give somebody else something for them to die.